Hey there guys, if you've ever built anything for your parrot out of PVC pipe and had an issue with it popping and coming apart, in today's video we are going to be covering a couple different ways to secure PVC that is safe for parrots, and that's going to be coming up. Hey there guys, this is Jack over at High Red Bird, where every single week we cover a different aspect of exotic animal care with the goal of making it more exciting, more affordable, and ultimately more enjoyable. Now, a lot of people I know like to build things out of PVC pipe. It's a really good way to build nice new things for your parrot, but I found that if you have a very large parrot, or if your parrot actually likes the toy and wants to play with it again and again, you may find that PVC just pushed together starts to fall apart. After a certain amount of time, you'll see the pipes start to twist and then they eventually fall apart. That's going to be problematic for your parrot. We don't want that to happen. So in today's video, we're going to be covering 3 different ways for securing PVC pipe, all of which are going to be safe for parrots. Now, for most applications, what you can do is you can just use your hands, push in along all of the fittings, and that's going to be relatively sturdy, but it will eventually fall apart. One of the ways that you can make that a little bit better, you can use a basic rubber mallet. Now you can hit along each of the lines, and that's going to secure that pipe together much better. I don't really recommend using a metal tipped hammer just because that's going to have a very high instance of cracking or chipping the pipe. We don't want that to happen. But one thing I do want you to keep in mind, that if you have something like this, if you are using a rubber mallet and you are hitting right here repeatedly, then this line of pipe is going to tighten and tighten and tighten. But at the same time, this line is going to start loosening. So you do want to make sure that you are applying force evenly all around it and making sure that you are getting it nice and secure. Now the next thing you can do, it's going to be a semi-permanent means of securing the PVC pipe for your parrot. You can use stainless steel hardware. Now this is going to be a really small little screw. I don't want something that's going to go all the way through here. I've tried doing that with longer nuts and bolts where I can go all the way through. And in the elbow fittings, in the T fittings, it can be a little bit difficult to get a socket wrench in there or something to just make sure you're getting it really tight. So I recommend just using small stainless steel screws. Now the reason I say stainless steel screws, being the main way you want to secure this, zinc is highly toxic to parrots, and most of the hardware that you're going to find at the hardware store is going to have zinc in it in some way, shape, or form. Zinc hardware is incredibly common to find, but galvanized hardware is also pretty common, and that's going to be steel hardware covered in a thin layer of zinc, which does make it rust-proof, but it also makes it highly toxic to your parrot. You can get stainless steel hardware at just about any hardware store. It is going to be a little bit more expensive than the other hardware, but compared to the cost of your parrot, there really is no comparison. It's well worth the extra 30 to 40 cents to get stainless steel hardware. Now, I do recommend finding a good spot where you can get a good hold on the pipe and the fitting. So if you look really closely at the fittings, you can see they usually have seams. They show you how far in that pipe is going to go. So you want to split the difference, just making sure you're getting a nice grab on the pipe and the fitting. You do want to pre-drill this because PVC does have a tendency to crack. If you just try to drill in the hardware, you're running a really high risk of breaking whatever it is you have built. Something else, you can pre-drill the holes using a drill, but I do recommend using a screwdriver and hand tightening the hardware that you're using to secure your PVC pipe. The reason for that, if you use a drill on something that you want to disassemble and reassemble somewhere else, if you have to do that several times, using a drill is going to strip those holes and it's going to make it where your bird could potentially pull that screw out. Now, even though stainless steel is safe for birds if they lick it, if they start to touch it with their beak, obviously it's not going to be safe if they are able to pull a screw out and swallow it. We don't want that to happen. So you want to make sure that you are not stripping those openings. You're making sure that those screws are able to stay in nice and tight. Now, the final way that you can secure something for a parrot, this is going to be a permanent application, and that's going to be gluing it together. Now, I say gluing it, but I don't use actual PVC glue. What I recommend is going to be the Odie Purple Primer. That's going to be available at most hardware stores. You can find it in the PVC plumbing section, and this works great for gluing PVC pipe together for parrot applications. Now, if you're not familiar with PVC pipe, the way that it works, the primer is going to chemically melt the PVC. So if you take your piece of PVC pipe apart, run a little bit of PVC primer on the outside of the pipe, on the inside of the fitting, give it about 10 to 15 seconds for that to fully work, and then push it together. Because it is chemically melted in those two spots, as you push it together and it cures, it will become one solid piece of plastic. So you're able to glue it together just using the purple primer. I don't recommend using PVC glue, not because it's not safe for the parrots, but because it does tend to bead out around the edges. It leaves raised areas that could attract your bird's attention. Again, this is going to be safe, but if your bird is peeling it off, chewing it, eating it, that's not safe. So those are going to be things that you want to keep in mind. Now, of course, whenever you do anything new for your birds, if you give them a new toy or change up the way that things are, you always want to monitor their interactions with it. While it may be safe for most parrots, there are exceptions, and we definitely want to make sure that your parrot is staying nice and safe. Now, these are 3 different ways to secure PVC pipe, all of which are going to be relatively safe, but there are, of course, other means of securing PVC pipe for parrots and other small animals. So my animal question of the day, if you guys have made anything and used something else to secure that PVC pipe, go ahead and let us know what it is in the comments section down below. If you liked this video, go ahead and like and subscribe. We will be posting brand new videos every single day. And in the meantime, we want to thank you guys for joining us and hope you have the best day ever.